Makeup's expensive, right? We've all seen it. We go online to look for makeup that we want to try. We have a look at YouTube tutorials. And they're all using products that are, I don't know about you, but way out of my price range. So I thought that I would go down the other end of the spectrum. And yes, I know that hundreds and hundreds of people have done these kinds of videos before, but I haven't. So welcome to my full face of Poundland makeup. Hello everybody and welcome back to Matt H Does Makeup. This is a place where we play, where we experiment and we make mistakes because mistakes are how we learn. So welcome back everybody. We are going to be doing something today that I have seen on YouTube countless times before, but I've never tried it myself, and apparently there's been some improvements in this range. Now, if you've seen the title and the thumbnail for this video, you know exactly what I'm about to say. Let's do a full face of Poundland. Full disclosure, when I say full face, I mean I had £5, and in those £5 I've picked up 5 beauty staples. So let's go through them. First things first, you need a foundation. Now this is the Matte Me Over foundation, long lasting foundation, I'll have you know, suitable for vegans, and it's in the shade Latte. For the eyes, we've gone for this, the All About the Shadow Eyebrow Quad. This was one of 2 choices they had. And I've gone with this one in particular because I think you can do quite a nice neutral shade out of this, but they are quite glittery. So we'll see how that goes. To carry on with the eyes, we've gone for this little eyeliner crayon pencil device in the shade brown because I thought brown, neutral, might work. Finally, for the eyes, I thought I'd have a little bit of a play with this. The Turn Up the Volume and Define mascara in black. Now, I have no idea how well this will work. Is it waterproof? No, but it has got vitamin B5, which can only be a good thing. Now, I don't have many bronzers in my makeup collection, so I thought, what a perfect time to see if Poundland has the materials at hand. And it does. Here it is. This is the Good to Glow matte bronzer. I do quite like a matte look, I'm not going to lie. And it's in the shade medium 2. Now, I don't know if this goes for Poundlands across the country, but the range that they had on paper looked really, well, not good, full. The Poundland that I went to, it seemed that they were very low on stock, so I couldn't get things like blush, concealer, various other odds and sods. Apparently they have recently brought out a new foundation line, but they are £3 each, and I thought, no, let's stick true to the source material. Everything you've just seen, £1 each. So that's the majority of a full face. For a £5, if this works, bargain of the century. If it doesn't, it'll pass 20 minutes, won't it? Now, before we begin, let me just say I have prepped my skin in the exact same way that I do for every other makeup look. I've got my eyeshadow primer on. Skin is as hydrated as, well, this gets. So let's start with the foundation. I've seen a couple of videos of this online, and there's quite a few people who shake it before they use it. I'm not quite sure why, but let's have a listen. I think this is why you shouldn't believe everything you see online. Now, I've got 2 choices when I start to put this foundation on. Do I do it like a beauty YouTube influencer type, or do I do it like a normal human being? Let's do it like a normal human being. I'm just going to put a little bit, the same amount that I would use with every other foundation that I have. I'm going to put, I'd say about 1 pump's worth on the back of that hand there. If you need more, you can put more on. If you don't, you haven't wasted the product. Yes, it was a quid, but it's always good to know. So let's have a little look. Let's have a little sniff. Doesn't smell like anything at the moment, but we shall see what happens. Now, full disclosure, This is my second attempt at trying to do this video. The first one, the recording effectively exploded. For that recording, I used a brush to apply the foundation. It was streaky, it was not good. So I am going in with this, my little beauty sponge that I have pre-moistened. So let's go in. We're going to go in with a fat end here. Dab, dab, dab. And go. So already I'm getting a little bit more coverage than I was the last time when I used a brush. So maybe it is about using that damp beauty sponge. I'd say this is a very light coverage. But then again, it doesn't claim to be full coverage, does it? No, just a long-lasting foundation with a natural matte finish. Okay, so we're looking for something that will last, and we're looking for something that is matte. Okay, so that is round one done. I've used that entire bit of foundation I put on my hands, so this is the normal level of product that I would use. However, as we couldn't get a concealer because it was out of stock / robbed, I'm just going to put a little bit more on the pointy end of the sponge here and just tuck that in underneath the eyes just to make sure we've got that coverage. Okay, so that hasn't gone particularly to plan, so I'm just going to take a little fluffy brush there and just blend that through, because what actually happened was that it started to take off most of the product. It just sort of stole it away, and look, my bag's returned. That's less than ideal, but we will make it work, or we won't. We shall see. Okay, so let's go in with the eyes. Let's take a little look at what I think may be this champagne-y type shade here. Okay, that was the wrong shade for what I was trying to do. I think we will change tack. Let's try and do something a little bit darker, a little bit smokier, if that darker shade will allow. Is there loads of pigment? No. Is there loads of fallout? Yes. Yes, there is. It looks dirty. Not gonna lie. Let's just try and maybe deepen that up by packing a little bit more product on, but to be honest, I don't think you could even if you tried. Let's try and do a shimmery lid. It looks filthy. It does, it looks filthy. I am not living for that in any way, shape or form, but we will persevere, we will make this work. When it comes to eyeshadows, a lot of people put a lot of pressure on these guys, brushes, but sometimes you've just got to get involved with your fingers, and that's okay as long as they're clean and you are, you know, hygienic about it. Your fingers can be really, really powerful makeup tools. Let's get my fingers dirty. Let's see if we can put on a little bit more of that gold shimmer. So this is what it looks like on the finger. Look at that. This is what it looks like when I've applied it with a brush. Hopefully, this should work. Oh, I look like an old man lost in the dark. I don't know if this will show up on camera, but you get a lot more pigment using your fingers than you do with a brush. And the best bit is that you can go in with that same brush and just make sure that you've blended that darker shade into that corner. I do want to add a little bit of lightness here, but my fingers are far too sort of pudgy to do that. So let's have a look at my toolbox and see what we've got. Something like this might work if I really pack it on. So let's go in with this lightest shade here. And go in with the trusty Batman mirror and see what we can do. I have had to use a heck of a lot of product to get any form of pigment onto my eye. So that's the under eyes done. I think it's about time to go in with this pencil. Let's test it out. Okay, so first impressions of the eyeliner. It's all right. I have used more expensive ones that are worse, but I haven't tested it long term. Does it go on smooth? As smooth as an eye pencil could. I mean, it's not a gel pencil, so it hasn't got that sort of slide to it. It seems to have gone on all right, though, I think. It does make me... In some ways, this eyeliner takes me back to like when I first started dipping my toes into that murky, murky water that is makeup. And I went through and this is probably showing my age a little, I went through a guyliner phase, and this sort of thing from Poundland, in particular from Poundland, was my go-to. It wasn't this one, it was many, 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 many years ago, but it was this sort of cheaper, more affordable pencil that you could just put on, maybe smudge a little bit with a brush, but back then it was sort of like a cotton bud. I'd use a cotton bud to smudge that out. Let's finish off these eyes with this Turn Up the Volume mascara. I have no idea if it's waterproof in any way, shape or form. Let's have a look. Oh, okay. This comb is actually quite similar to the e.l.f. Lash It Out Loud? Hang on, I'll get it. So yeah, it's not too dissimilar to the e.l.f. Lash It Loud. So here's the e.l.f. Lash It Loud. No, how do YouTubers do this? They put their hand there, don't they? This is going to be a really awkward edit. I'm just putting that out there. And now compare that to the one from Poundland. That's the same, right? You've got the tiny, tiny little plastic combs on there instead of more of a brush. So I'm a fan of the e.l.f. Lash It Loud. So it all comes down to the formula on this one. I'm actually quite impressed with that. Do you think it's one of those where e.l.f. have just used the exact same formula? That's all right, isn't it? Do you know what? I'm going to keep this. I'm going to keep this because I think next time I try it, I will curl my eyelashes. Now, I don't know if it's waterproof and I don't know how long lasting this is, but for a quid, keeping that. Everything else so far, straight in the bin. Okay, so we've got the Good To Go matte bronzer in medium. I'm going on a bit of a personal bronzing journey at the moment. I know that sounds really shit, doesn't it? But it's not a product I'm overly familiar with, so to have one available to me that's £1, I can't argue with that. I can find the shapes, I can find how much to use, and then I can start to build that into slightly more higher end products. So I've followed all sorts of tutorials, which is something that I will probably be doing again. So if you want to see me try and make head and a tail of these online tutorials, drop us a cheeky subscribe. That way you'll know exactly what I'm up to and when. Bronze time. So I am looking quite pasty, quite flat. Bronze equals sun-kissed. Bronze equals structure, shape. And as I haven't got any blush, I'm just going to have to kind of make do with what we have got. So let's go somewhere here, maybe into here, maybe a little bit higher. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it down here. So let's start in the sideburn area and then bring that down. And let's have a look at this colour. I'm not mad at that. Most of these sort of bronzing tutorials that I've seen don't take into account that it's not just women and men with very smooth faces that want to wear makeup. So it has got a little bit stuck in there. But that's okay, nothing a little bit of blending won't sort out. Do you know, in real life, and by real life I mean a mirror that's slightly further away from me over there, it looks alright. I wish I had a blush though. A little bit to the temples as well. Just because that's where I, anyway, catch the sun. Up here. Or at least I used to when I had shorter hair. So God knows what it'll do this summer, but I'm looking forward to finding out. And finally, I'm just going to bronze a little bit of my neck there, just to try and bring some of this colouring further down, because I was looking a little bit disjointed. The Good to Glow matte bronzer from Poundland. I'll have that. Okay, so I've been filming now for just over half an hour, and already I'm becoming quite patchy, especially on the cheek area here. So before I do any sort of setting, I'm just going to see if I can repair that. No extra product. Just try and repair that with the beauty sponge. So we don't have blush. We don't have a lip to put on. So I feel a little bit naked without a lip. So what I will do is put on one of the more affordable lipsticks that I have. Elf Seriously Satin lipstick in the shade Sugar Plum. This is £3, I want to say. Something like that. So I'll whack this lip on and we'll be back. Okay, so that's the lips done, and just to tidy up those edges, I've used a lip liner from Studio London. This was £3, I think. Cracking liner. I know this is a Poundland video, but this liner, and I've got a few different shades of these. These are fab. Love these. Okay, so that is a full-ish face of Poundland products. I think it's only fair to say that the mascara is the only thing that I would probably think about buying again. I'm not, like... It's difficult to do videos like this, especially when you're looking at the more affordable spectrum of makeup. And you really, really want them to be good, because you know that price is a barrier to beauty. Makeup. It's a barrier to makeup, especially. And the internet doesn't help all of this. You see all of these influencers doing stunning, incredible looks. And it's like, this cost £68. This was the low price of 436 quid. Reality is they don't pay for any of this stuff. It's PR packaging, and that's all right. It's no shade on them, but it does set this sort of like unrealistic expectation, doesn't it? When you've got people like me, people like us, who want to play and we want to try and make ourselves look stunning, and you have this level of makeup available to you. I mean, there is a really good choice in that mid-range. And I think Beauty Bay or Elf, I think Elf actually is such a great place to start if you want to spend a couple of pounds on, like, that lipstick that I used, £3. And they've always got sales on and stuff, so it's always worth having a look. But I really, really do understand the price is a barrier when it comes to this stuff. I've seen all of these videos of people trying these products and going, oh my god, it's amazing. I'm really super surprised and shocked. I don't know if you are. I'm just going to put that out there. If it's for entertainment, all good, absolutely fine, but say it is. Okay? Say it is. Because there will be people that do watch your content for advice. And I want to be one of those people that will give advice. Genuine, authentic advice. At least from my point of view. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't care about any of that stuff. I'm not going to be here pouring foundation and shit all over my face just to get views. I want to try and help the community, that's all. So if you do want to be part of this lovely little community that we're starting to grow, give us a subscribe. So I have got a few more ideas in the pipeline for videos that I would like to do, but if there's anything you'd like to see me do, drop it in the comments below. Keep it clean, people. We'll see you next time. Bye.